too much lag yet. Format's too fast right now. I agree. Like I said, the only thing that I think makes Ral halfway look addable is it being a planeswalker against matchups specifically like Jeskai Blink, Blue White Control, and like Esper Blink. But I just don't think those are a big enough portion of the meta. Question is, do you want to play this or Kaido at 3 mana? And the answer is always Kaido. Pretty much, yeah. How lucky do we feel? I don't love this hand. But if you're not going to test semi-keepable hands in the like tournament lobby, then when are you going to test these hands? I believe in the heart of the cards. That's all I needed to hear. So it's going to be another Simic Ritual. Not Simic Ritual. Very, very far from Simic Ritual. Okay. I guess we'll just take Neo form. No. Deck's terrible. It's ritualistic in nature. I guess technically you're not wrong. We have a fun-ish line that I would like to work towards if we find lands where maybe we get to consign to memory like an Atraxa ETB and then Bitter Triumph away the actual Atraxa. But like I said, we need lands to do that. Surely we won't whiff again. Son of a... Ugh. I should have discarded this Casey Jones. But that's what, 15 cards, 1 land? 16 cards, 1 land? No land and no unearth is kind of wild. Oh. You cheeky deck. You cheeky deck. Need more than 5 lands in this deck? Blasphemy. Why on earth would I run more than 5 lands? I wonder if they know they could just kill me with this. They don't need to Eldritch Evolution it away. Just... All right, we'll go to game 2. Land. All right, so we got Mystical Disputes, Force coming in. got Harbingers to bring in. I don't know if I want Damping Sphere, but we'll see how much I have to take out. Fatal Pushes go. Poured out one of my Bitter Triumphs. I do want to take into account the fact that they could be going on the Ice Fang plan post board. Not going to get me twice. Starting to think the deck has it out for me. I'm on like 20 lands, 21 lands or something, right? Yeah, 20. It's a reasonable amount of lands. Deck, don't you dare do this to me. All right, step one. We'll probably just cycle this Unearth to try to hit third land and like set up hopefully a Harbinger, unless they turn to me here. I believe. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to go for Unearth on a Harbinger, right? Except I didn't discard the Harbinger because I'm an idiot. All right, go for the backup plan. My brother in Christ. uh deck. Did I forget something? Deck's cold off it. Maybe opponent is trying to decide whether or not to go for it with no protection. Maybe that's what we're contemplating. Land, 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 land. Thank you. See, this deck's great. Y'all just don't believe. Sure. I just got to get y'all to believe. Got an Allosaurus rider. Got the card Neoform. Hey. Deck's great. Deck's great, and y'all are all terrible people for not believing in it. Part of me wants to flashback Faithless looting here. What's this? Wistfulness? Just gonna say no to that. Sure. Okay. I guess let's just put an Oculus into play and see if that's good enough, right? It beats like a Grixis or an Oculus of their own. They didn't show me the Oculus Juke. Does anybody know if that's like fallen out of favor? Are the Neobrand players just not on Oculus anymore? Or is that still a thing they're doing? The whole like Ice Fang Oculus sideboard juke. Like, I don't think I'm gonna respect it. Dude, what is with these hands? Oh, look, it's a halfway functional one. Show me the Veil of Summer. No Veil of Summer. Show me the Unearth. All right, well, if that's the case, we're just going to try to set up for hard cast Casey Jones next turn. Maybe opponent misses their third land drop. I also should have really considered countering that. I do think I'm going to consign to memory this trigger. And I like just hard cast that. While opponent is tapped out. Binning a Neoform. Is that good for me or is that good for them? That probably means that they've got another Neoform in hand. Or another Neoform effect. I'm just going to go for the KC here. Basic Swamp strikes again. Stupid bait. I think we're going to ship this back. If I knew for a fact that my opponent was on like Boros, maybe I could have kept that hand. But since I don't know that, it's a little bit of a liability. Like if I knew those first couple removal spells were going to line up, if I just like find a third land, I can hard cast Casey Jones, set up like hard cast Oculus, be reasonable. Shock in Hallowed Fountain, go. Well, I like the aggressive. Maybe they won't recognize that I can't play out this Felion one. So if they flage, I think I'm ditching looting Casey. Probably. Ragioli. All right, so their last two cards are Arena Flage. What do I want to do here? Just attack in, see if they block, discard Casey. Probably just discard Looting. No block. Now, is there a world where I just want to go triple fetch, triple discard, Oculus? I kind of like that. Discard, discard, discard. Save Oculus for, or save Bitter Triumph for Escape Flage. Just say, I'm going to try to get this game over with before it matters. That's pretty good. I am not discarding to the frog. I don't want to discard and jump. I'd rather just save the Bitter Triumph in case they discard the Flage and enough to get it back. They don't discard the Flage. Like to see that. Their hand is Flage and an Unknown. Discharge. Okay. See if maybe we can high roll another Unearth. See if we can high roll another Unearth. You high roll me, I high roll you. We all have a Merry Christmas. Do it. Do it, you coward. I feel like they drew like a Quantum Riddler. And they're trying to decide between warping Riddler if there's a chance they hit a better hit. I took the blue-white control deck, Dingo's been jamming, and just threw 4 Bowman in it to try to help the Boros and Simic matchup. Is the Boros matchup that bad for that deck? It's like 30%. Jeez. It's kind of funny to, like, I just can't imagine right now playing a deck that had like a really bad matchup into Boros, just because that's like public enemy number 1. Like, you do not want to run into this deck. So it's just kind of wild to think, like, oh, I can register a deck that's bad into Boros, or like really bad into Boros. I think a little bit under is fine percentage wise, but being super rough into it seems like a bad time. Amazing deck. I like it. Talking about this one or talking about blue-white control? This one. The record so far has been like pretty good with this deck, surprisingly. I might lose to this Ragavan. I might consign the Ragavan trigger. Especially after they play Arena of Glory on 2. Like, if they have Ragavan into Felia, that's rough. Sucks. Happens. But if they don't have Felia, and this is like, try to set up mana Ragavan. They just kind of got all the stuff. I think we can just go to game 3 off this. Turns out Ragavan's still a good card in 2026. I know. Shocker, right? Like, I can't believe Ragavan playable. Not just playable, like actively good. This looks like a kind of fun hand. As much as I want to get the basic swamp off of this, I feel like it's just actively not right. Their hand's kind of terrible. Unfortunately, my hand is also pretty terrible. Come on, lands. Not lands. All right, so I'm going to let them get this Quantum Riddler draw. Hope that opponent's just nice enough to warp it out. Yep. Push the Felia. Consign the Felia return trigger. Bye-bye, Quantum Riddler. That would have been such a good turn for a land. All right, we're going to add another land after this league. So they've got Arena, Felia, Unknown, Unknown. Now I don't think I have any outs, because even if I hit the land this turn for Harbinger, they have another Felia that I know about. They can flash in Felia, blink out the Harbinger, get back Flage. They have double white, triple red, so I can't Fulminator them off. Yeah, it's too late on the land. Should just add Ponder to the list, not another land. Well, if they would just hurry up and unban Ponder, we could. But they just refuse. They're afraid of what Ponder will bring to the format. The power. Right up there with their fear of Deathrite Shaman. Opponent's down to 5. Is this what it feels like to be on the opposite side? Amulet Titan. I just want to take Grazer so this frog can connect. Sure. Oh, baby. I probably should have taken the Rumble just because taking the Grazer doesn't, or like them getting the extra mana off the Grazer doesn't really matter if they didn't have anything to follow it up with, and I could have discarded to the Frog anyway. but it's kind of fine. Grazer did nothing right. True. Do you want to get some damage in, though? I might consign. What do they get? They got Crumbling Vestige. Yeah. I think I'm just going to consign this Spelunking ETB. Just cut him off a draw here. Chooses Teleria West. Make sure that my bigger frog's getting in for some damage. Got a construct. Got an amulet. Got a surveil. Arboreal Grazer into the graveyard, you monster. Absolute monster. Do I? Yeah, I want to be able to replicate. Sure. All right, so this is 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or we can just consign this trigger. Discard some stuff to some frogs. Make sure we spread the love. 3, 6, 9. Yeah. It's like, I hope I mathed that out correctly. Could have warped Quantum Riddler there, but Amulet doesn't have anything at 2 mana instant speed that I care about. So, kind of fine. Maybe I want the Meltdown. Maybe I don't. Haven't decided on that one yet. Do need to be a little mindful of Bajuka Bog. So I want to like lightly trim the grave or graveyard matter stuff. How does Modern feel? Haven't been in the game for a year. I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. Like, it's very it's very monotonous at the moment. A lot of the gameplay is repetitive, but it's not like, oh my God, horrible, bad gameplay, if that makes any sense. Like, it would be substantially worse if the gameplay were monotonous and bad. But I think for the most part, outside of like a few decks here and there, the gameplay is pretty good. Like, Boros Energy being the best deck in the format can have some absolutely abysmal draws to play against. But at the same time, if the best deck in the format is a fair kind of mid-range style deck, that's a lot better than it could be. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go for a Surveil right here in case I flip over something to Unearth. Bow, bow, bow. Scoop lag to making that archetype good or playable. That's my take for the day. Speaking of giving up archetypes, did you see the blue-red Murktide with Corey list? Yeah, that was ZKG out of the Discord's list. I don't really want you to have a Titan next turn. Folks are trauma bonded to their shells. For the most part, yeah. Okay, so we can get the Titan out of hand. Hope that opponent doesn't top deck another Titan right away. Please no Thoughtseize Bug. I'll keep that. I don't mind unearthing an Oculus here instead of something else. So I can unearth this Oculus and hold up Consign to Memory. That's pretty good. Yeah, that is it. Corey Steel Cutter Murktide list was ZKG's. Is that actually a hot take? It sounds perfectly reasonable considering the depth of the game. People don't have a ton of time to innovate and solve the harder archetype. It shouldn't be that that's a hot take, but people have really, especially since MH2 or MH3 dropped, MH2, but like to a lesser extent, the Horizon sets in general, people have really gone of the opinion that like you cannot be a deck specialist in Modern. That the new printed stuff is just too strong and you can't compete with that. And I don't think that's the case. I think for the most part, people just like aren't willing to explore with their archetypes. They really just want to play not necessarily a stock 75, but they're not willing to try out something that doesn't fit into the immediate, okay, this is playable framework. I don't know if you've ever been on the Jund mid-range Facebook page. That's like the epitome of my argument, where every time something gets printed, it gets posted in there and people ask, does it Jund? And 99.9% of the cards, people immediately say, no, it doesn't Jund. And then go to their FNMs and like 2-3 drop with the same 75 for the last 5 years. But we'll just keep saying, no, it doesn't Jund. No, that card's unplayable, whatever the case may be. And just like won't change up that opinion at all. And that's where people have to be willing to adjust, is to say like, oh, get out of here, Kaito. Is to say maybe it's not the new cards not fitting into my shell. Maybe the shell needs to change. I think there's some archetypes you can do that with, but like decks like Infect are in a very tough spot because of how good the removal spells are. I agree that if you're wanting to like build the same Infect 75, it's going to be very rough. But I also believe that if you took that same 75, or if you took the Infect archetype and adjusted the 75, like maybe you're not an all-in Infect pump spell deck anymore. Maybe you just can't afford to do that. But you could adjust what your generic game plan is into some of the removal heavy decks. Then there might be a chance there. I'm going to keep the basic swamp. I'm already in a rough spot, so I need to kind of set up like Frog on 2, discard Oculus plus Unearth or something. Hope that my opponent doesn't have the card Lotus Field. I'm still winning locally with Jund Saga, which is perfectly respectable. Like, I think Jund Saga is exactly the kind of deck that could be decent if people are willing to adjust their 75s. Just more often than not, they don't. What am I discarding? I think this is just Oculus, Blood Crypt. Titan, Scape Shift. Is the new green-black Planeswalker... New green-black Planeswalker seems really strong, but is it too slow for Modern? I think probably yes, but don't hold me to that. I have not, like, looked over it that closely. All right. I'm going to attack in, get the Grazer blocks. We're just going to double discard so I can start attacking in and drawing off of this frog and just hope that opponent doesn't hit a bounce land this turn. Harbinger would be a hot draw. Fulminator Mage would be pretty good. Another frog, a little bit less so. Okay. Ha! So they can mirror pool and copy a grazer if they want. Give them unlimited constructs. They don't mirror pool the grazer. How do I feel about the construct argument? I need like life pad, piece of paper or something. Okay, so they make a construct. They have 2/3/3s on their turn. They make another 2/4/4s. I can block one of them if I want, go to 13, or ignore it, go to 9. If I ignore it, then I have to double block the next turn. Then they have 3/5/5s. Frog is drawing. I don't think Frog's drawing into enough. So I think I have to just let them get this construct, hope they don't find a green source, and play for the Harbinger after this turn. Damn it. All right, we'll just go to game 3. Needed the no green source. Kind of just want to do the proactive thing on the play. Why do I have so many fatal pushes in? Get out of here. Should not have this many removal spells in post board. I just like forget to board out half the stuff. Okay. The reason I stopped playing the format is that I got tired of not having reason to play certain archetypes competitively. Like only one mid-range deck. Boros was worth playing, but I liked all the Jund cards. So it was an issue of like not getting to play the cards that you wanted to be casting. Here's a frog. If opponent goes for a dismember on this frog, I do believe I'm going to try to save it. Just discard 4. Because one of my best draws is already unearthed to get back Harbinger. And now I just have a frog in play that they're going to have a tough time dealing with. Take a Primeval Titan. Say go. Yep. So important to get that attack in, or important to discard the mountain there, because if they don't do anything, that gives me 3 discards to kill with the frog next turn. But I want to keep the Bitter Triumph in case they have, like, they top deck a Primeval Titan. I can kill the Titan in response to, like, a handwear target. So, sweet match there. Always love taking down some Amulet. Personally, I have problems with Solitude being too free and Riddler drawing too many cards, which are reasonable, but like at the same time, let's say you're playing Jund mid range and you're concerned about Solitude and Riddler. Cards like Liliana the Veil that people have basically written off recently is really good into Solitude because it doesn't answer it. It ticks up to get out of range of the Flay GTB. And then cards like Shieldred's Edict can let you trade almost 1-for-1 with Riddler. So it can at least stop from getting the draw 2, which is important. So I definitely think there are things you can do to mitigate a lot of that concern. I played this opponent in the challenge the other day. I think they ended up like winning or splitting the finals or something. I think they were playing like Tron. No, they were playing Boros. I'd really like to go Frog into like discard Casey, unearth it, find something good to discard to persist, like a Oculus. That'd be pretty lit. Opponent not ghosting confirmed. Name Scalding Tarn with a Pithing Needle. Love to see it. Don't love to see that one. I need to tell opponent to backtrack because someone in chat said to just have the counter spell, and I clearly didn't do that. So that's on me. Double Tormod's Crypt into my Persist Unearth is a little rough. I'm just going to get a little extra damage in here. Might be able to just race this. Maybe opponent will be really, really nice and just make a construct and say go. Doesn't look like it, but. Come on, Quantum Riddler. Quantum Riddler one time. Sure. Does that do anything for me? I don't think so. I guess it puts cards in the yard to jump the frog. Gotta leave back this Casey Jones so that I'm not dead to construct attack plus munitions tokens. Actually, they can just skateboard me, can't they? Yeah. Didn't matter too much. They don't. Ah. Well, that's unfortunate. And the Kappa. That's just rude. Well, if we had Fatal Push, we'd be set. Unfortunately, we do not have Fatal Push, therefore we are not set. So this is 13, go down to 4. Need like Quantum Riddler into another Quantum Riddler. You tease of a deck. That's a whole lot of Tormod's crypts he got there. Whole mess of Tormod's crypts. All right, let's see if we get to consign to memory the ward trigger off a Kappa Cannoneer. Good hands only. Good hands only. Is this a good hand? We've got Thoughtseize on 1. Faithless Looting to try to find something on 2. If this fire magic were a meltdown, it would definitely be a snap keep. I think I'm going to give it a shot. Kind of hope that I can slow things down just enough. Got Krang, they've got Saga. Just take the Tormod's Crypt. It gives me a chance to do something unfair. Yeah, just go ahead and Faithless Looting in case I just happen to blind rip dude on Earth. We got halfway there. Fire magic. Okay, so we pass back. Opponent makes a construct. Go to their turn, make another construct. We fatal push. I need to surveil before they do anything in case they get Pithing Needle. Feels bad, but I think I have to leave that on top. Kind of expect them to get a Soul Guide Lantern or something like that. Especially if I put the Casey Jones in the yard. Or that. So I have to fight over a free artifact. If I don't, they can Krang. Contrary to popular belief, I don't want them to Krang. Okay. Could have been worse. Could have been better, but could have been worse. If we make it to a game 3, Grafdigger's Cage is definitely impacting my sideboard decisions. I might just like drop all of the unearths. Warp Pinnacle Emissary, make 1 drone and pass. So is that just to get the extra card for Krang? All right, come on, Meltdown. Don't think there's any reason not to cast the Faithless Looting here. Push, literally just in case they have another Krang in hand. Kappa. No, I had it cold. I guess the bright side is they only drew 1 card off of this. Pretty sure they should crack these baubles now. Like, you've got Pinnacle Emissary that you know about in Warp, so just finding some 0 drops is like good enough. Or that. Waiting another card for looting. Well, I can't flashback looting with Grafdigger's Cage out. So looting is just a dead card in my graveyard at the moment. I was expecting like Soul Guide Lanterns. I was not expecting Grafdigger's Cage. So that one unfortunately got me pretty good here. Yeah. Scoop it up. So we end up 3-2 with the looting deck. Lose to Affinity, shocker. But we beat up on Amulet pretty good. We lost a close one to Jeskai round 1. We just didn't see the lands we needed, but deck decided to get in gear afterwards and start hitting the land drops. So fairly happy. I still think there's some room for there's obviously always room for improvement, but decent bit of room for improvement on the Jeskai list. Or not the Grixis list. This deck list right here.